back to the sauna for a second, infrared sauna, as you mentioned, is one of the best ways to detox and to stimulate the lymphatic system. We sweat, we have some heat shock proteins that, get stimulated in the body. And we know, I was looking at quite a bit of science on heat shock proteins and their relation to longevity and reduction of all morbidities and reduction of deaths from all morbidities. But maybe you can talk a little bit on a protocol, like what should people watch out for with the sauna, and what do they need to know? How often, how many times a week, how long should they be in the sauna, really to get the most, both safety and efficacy?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Really good question. And the answer depends. Are you at the 101 level of health, or are you at the master's level of health? Meaning, have you been working on this for a while and your system's already cardiovascularly fit? It really depends. The way that you can tell about the intensity is your heart rate variability. That's a really good marker. It's called a biomarker. It's like a temperature gauge on the dashboard. Biomarkers, there's two ways to measure the temperature in the engine of your car. Some cars, the hot light comes on. Oh my gosh. And you have to pull over really quick or you're going to burn up the engine. Other cars have a temperature gauge, and you can see that gauge start to climb towards the red zone beforehand, so that it gives you time, a window of opportunity to do something before your engine starts overheating, right? So that's a biomarker, and there are many, many biomarkers for health, many. So the biomarker as to how quickly you detox and how aggressively you detox and how aggressively you exercise also. I mean, how hard do you push your body to move it in the direction of better health? It's called your heart rate variability. And that's a really good concept. I'm sure you talk about it in your master class. And I want to encourage everybody that that's kind of the 101 things for people who really want to tell, okay, this is where my body is right now, and I don't want to push too hard, but how hard can I push? Is that you learn what your baseline is to heart rate variability. And then as you do your exercising, you do your sauna, you'll tell that later that day or the next day, how's your heart rate variability doing? Because it's a very subtle measurement, but very accurate measurement. So if you're at the 101 level of sauna, you might sit in the sauna and turn it on, so it's room temperature. And most of these saunas take like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get up to 140. So it may be that you turn it on when you get in there, and 30 minutes, you're now starting, yeah, it's pretty warm in here, and you're feeling, yeah, I'm sweating. And that might be enough. You might be in there 5 minutes at 140. And so, that's enough. And then you might want to, you take a shower or something, and then you want to take a nap. Well, you may have pushed a little too hard. That may have been too much. So it depends on the individual. But the way you can tell is by, if you start measuring your heart rate variability, there's like a ring that you can wear that'll let you do that. And I'm sure you talk about all that stuff, which is great.
Yeah, I use a wrist one to measure that for myself, measure sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep, HRV, all of those things. And it's, you've got to measure, right? Just like you teach and you offer through your website and through, all the great work you do and your clinical work, is you have to test and you have to measure to really see what's going on.
Yeah, the rule is test, don't guess. And when you're dealing with a disease, you want biomarkers so you can monitor your progress irrespective of how you feel. Meaning, well, I don't really feel better yet. Yeah, but look, your heart rate variability is getting more stable. So you can see things like that. But in general principles, and I hesitate to say this because some people, I have to do it like this. No, you don't. If you're at the 101 or the 201 level, you need to help your body catch up and take it much slower. But in general, somewhere around 20 to 30 minutes, 2 to 4 times a week is plenty in an infrared sauna. And there's a couple things you have to remember. You have to be drinking a lot of water because you're sweating a lot, which is really good. You want to sweat these toxins out that are in your muscles, in your tendons, in your organs, you know, this crud from years and years that has accumulated in our bodies. You want to sweat this stuff out. So you need to hydrate really well, and you need to take minerals, extra minerals, because you're sweating out minerals too. And so you have to replace the minerals that you're sweating out, the electrolytes that you're sweating out. And I'm sure you've got guidelines on that in your master class. But the goal is some 20, 30 minutes, 2 to 4 times a week. That's plenty. Some people going in there every day, and that's really draining on your body. It's hard to stay on top of all of that if you're doing it that frequently.
You know, maybe one final piece you could talk on is about after the sauna. You know, I've done cold hydrotherapy for years, and cold showers and ice baths and things like that. And we, you know, the benefits of that are extraordinary. We don't have to get into that, but generally after a hot sauna, a cold shower would, you know, be very pleasing and feel great. But is it true that because you just sweat out all those toxins immediately after a sauna, you should actually take a warm shower as not to, you know, so that you can really rinse and scrub all that off your body, versus a cold shower, which is going to close your pores and potentially bring those toxins back in? Is that true or not? Do you know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a basic 101 principle. You put cold on your skin goes like this. And if you're trying to flush out stuff, you want your skin open. That's the purpose of a sauna. So after a sauna, after you cool down a little bit, you go and you take a warm shower. And I recommend a loofah sponge is a good idea. I use this Japanese washcloth. And if you go on Amazon, just type in Japanese washcloth, and here they pop right up. There's 3 different colors. There's yellow, blue, and pink. And each color is a different grade of washcloth. It's like sandpaper. You know, there's really hard sandpaper and there's really soft, fine sandpaper. The washcloth, it's about this long, and I use it like this on my body, you know, on my back and all that. And it's cleaning every time you take a shower. Every time you use some kind of a washcloth, not a towel, but something like a loofah sponge or this Japanese washcloth, and you're brushing your skin to get rid of dead skin cells. And you're brushing away the old debris on your skin. It's at the microscopic level. You can't see it, anything like that, but it's at the microscopic level. But you're brushing away the toxins, the dead skin cells, allowing your skin to breathe more. Really important component. And I use it every time I'm in the shower. So what I do is I get in the shower, I rinse off a bit, I do my hair with some shampoo, and then I wet the cloth and I do my body with the cloth to brush off the dead skin cells. Then I put a little soap on the cloth because I like a little foam, and then I'll do it again. And then I rinse off and do it one more time with the washcloth. So I'm brushing my skin to get rid of dead skin cells and the toxins that are right under the surface. And it's warm water. Now then, at the end of all that, then you do what's called hot, cold, hot.
Yeah.
So you've got hot water, warm water, and then and I usually do it on my back first, you know. So I turn around so the water's hitting my back, and I reach around and I turn it all the way to cold, and I focus on my breathing. I focus on taking a couple deep breaths, because the tendencies go, ooh, ooh, you know, and you tighten your body up. And what you want to do is just breathe and just focus on deep breaths and say, oh man, that is cold. Whoa, that's kind of cold, for 5 seconds. And then you reach and you turn it back to hot. So you always start with hot and you end with hot. Warm gets more blood into the area. Cold shuts it down. Warm opens it up again. So you're pumping your system. We do that a lot with the adrenal glands, water over the adrenal glands or the body in general.